What's up, everyone? In today's episode, I want to share with you the number one rule when it comes to real estate and even life, especially in the Western world and especially in today, 2021. So taking a quick step back, my name is Dominique Higgins. I'm a real estate broker for developers where I help them buy and build their dream projects. And in today's episode, I really wanted to address something that not a lot of people talk about, but is very, very important in real estate and in life. And that is to get everything in writing. Hands down, get everything in writing. This is by far one of the most overlooked things, especially in real estate, because everyone thinks that, oh, we'll figure it out later, or, oh, it's so easy, it's a family member, it's so on and so forth, we don't need to put it in writing, it's a little bit rude to put it in writing. There are all these different kind of like hesitances when it comes to putting things in writing, especially with real estate. And quite frankly, it is not worth it. I cannot tell you how many stories, and my own stories too, which I'll share in a little bit. But I can't tell you how many stories I've heard where people thought they owned the house, but they didn't because they didn't have the paperwork, or they thought they had inherited a house, but didn't because they didn't have the paperwork, or all these different things where agreements were made, hands were shaken, but nothing was put in writing, which is how things work. I mean, it sucks to say that, but if it's not in writing, it doesn't even exist. And as far as it goes for America and the US especially, and even the Western world, no, if it's not in writing, you're not able to, you very severely limit yourself and limit your abilities in business especially, and especially in real estate. It has to be in writing for most of the different things that are out there, and there are very specific instances. But if you're interested in buying and selling real estate, if you're trying to raise capital with real estate, if you're working with contractors in real estate, if you're working with your family members in real estate, please just get in writing. And I do speak from personal experience myself. So my very first project was one where I borrowed money from my mom in order to purchase a property. It was the $6,500 mobile home, and we did not put anything in writing. And so for me, it was like, okay, it's just borrowing money. Eventually, I knew I was going to pay her back. I just didn't know the terms or anything like that. And for her expectations were totally different. She had a much shorter timeline versus me. And I'm like, I could sit on this for as long as it needs, or just wait it out. And so that kind of friction was pretty much what led her to get really frustrated and basically give me an ultimatum saying, you either buy me out and buy out my portion, or we need to sell this property so I can recoup the loan, what I lended you. And so with that, it helped me realize that it's very important, even when it's parents that you're borrowing from, or if that is your specific situation, but no matter if it's parents, if it's husband, wife, even friends, just get in writing. It makes things so much easier. It helps match expectations a lot more too. And I can't tell you how many stories I've heard from other people like my own who've kind of been, and a lot worse too, where they've kind of had properties that they thought were theirs kind of taken from them because they simply didn't get in writing. And I have to say that is very, very important. And even too, I'll kind of give another example because it's happened to me twice, where on my second development project, I had the opportunity to take a condo and kind of reconfigure it, add a bedroom, and do all these things to it. And with the real estate agent, I kind of set up a deal where I was like, okay, well, this is going to take longer since I'm already doing all the work. I'm going to need your cut of the commission, because you have to share your commission because I'm doing all the work. You're not doing anything. You're off doing your own thing, and I'm the one showing the property, locking it up, monitoring it, and doing all this different stuff. And she was like, oh yeah, I agree. We'll do that in writing. And she's like, oh, I'll agree to that. But we didn't get it in writing. That's what I meant to say. And then flash forward to when the property finally goes to close and she gets her check. And I'm like, okay, well, what happened to the split? We're gonna, I want to talk about that now. And she's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I was like, are you serious? Are you serious? But I couldn't blame her because I didn't put it in writing. And so those are just kind of the two big tough lessons where that kind of stands out to me. And I wanted to share that with you guys because I know that it feels easy to not get it in writing, but honestly down the line, it is so much harder to not get it in writing. So whether you are trying to raise capital from your family, friends, work colleagues, lenders, so on and so forth. Always, always, always just get in writing. And again, this is probably the number one rule in real estate as well as in life, especially in the Western world, because I mean, it is what it is. But I hope that helps for anyone who is out there and who has kind of had that thing in the back of their head, you know, like that thing gnawing on them, like, oh, should I get it in writing? Should I get it in writing? I just wanted to kind of hop on here and be the voice that says, yes, you should get it in writing. And if you do have any questions, to check out the pin post in my timeline and book a free 30-minute strategy call with me, where we can kind of identify areas that need to be shored up in that situation that you might want to get in writing, or different agreements that you might want to put on paper, and we can kind of talk through those as well as identify other opportunities for you as a real estate developer and investor. But until then, thank you so much for joining me, and can't wait to see you guys on the next video. Bye.